My question for you is, what tip would you give someone in terms of finding a job? You have some advantages, right? You have additional certifications beyond just Scrum. So you're a PMP. When you walked in the door to that class, you was already a PMP because I remember you asking about PDUs and you keep bugging me about those PDUs, right? So you was asking me questions about those things, right? But when you think about that process, when you come out that class, you don't have a job, you got to figure out how you're going to move forward. What advice would you give people?
I think one advice that actually this morning I talked to some young folks within that company,
Okay.
and they asked me the exact same question. So, what I told them is that in your interviews, focus on both things equally, the technical element of your position
Mm-hmm.
and your soft skills. And in some cases, if you have to go 60% and 40%, I would say go 60% in your soft skills and lower down your technical skills to 40%.
Okay.
That much I have seen because in organizations,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're matrix organizations or projectized organizations, people's skills are key.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, Stakeholders, even people who are not impacting directly your project, but they
Uh-huh.
have the enough influence to kind of sway your team in different directions, right?
Yeah, that's
So
true. Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta have uh, diplomatic skills. You gotta have communication skills. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have a lot of patience,
Okay.
because a lot of times things will not go your way. Even in an interview, you might think you may have impressed the other person, but guess what? You may not have. And then he or she will give you a follow up challenging question.
That's true.
So stay humble, stay confident, but then be aware that
Mm-hmm.
they are judging your technical skills and your soft skills at the same time. And in some cases, more soft skills than technical skills.
And a lot of these soft skills don't necessarily come with a certification, right?
Oh, no,
They
absolutely
don't.
not.
They don't come,
No.
but you could actually take a class here, or you can go. You look on YouTube for some things, right? There's many places where you can go and try to get these soft skills, right? Because a lot of times, what people don't realize is you can have as many certifications as you want to have. If they don't feel like you fit in their environment, you're probably not gonna get the
Mhm.
job, right?
You're very right. Absolutely. And I'll give you an example. I'll give everybody an example from your class. You started doing those breakout sessions of four or
Mm-hmm.
five people, right?
Yeah. Uh
You
huh.
gave us 15 minutes and a problem to solve
Yeah.
or contribute towards the class. I found those 15-minute breakout sessions as a good test of your soft skills
Yes.
because we were all, coupled into a room. Somebody had 30 years of experience, somebody had
Mm-hmm.
5 years of experience, somebody had
Mm-hmm.
my level of experience, but we were all different people,
Mm-hmm.
man, women, old, young, right?
Yeah.
So those rooms really tested our soft skills as well as
Mm-hmm.
we were learning the Scrum class.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that people can practice and rehearse during those 15-minute breakout sessions. How their soft skills are in terms of
Yeah.
negotiating,
Yep. Yeah.
or giving your opinion in a way that you kind of influence other people's thinking. Mhm.
Yeah. And if you're not, and let's just say you're not in my class, right? Let's just say you're in life every day, right? You can volunteer some organization, right? And that's
Right.
likely going to have people that you will have to deal with. There's a lot of people that have some religious direction that they live in, right? And that might be a good place for you to interact because we're talking about interactions here. We're not talking about
Mhm.
anything up and beyond other than interactions. That's it. It's just interactions we're talking about there, right? And so it's one of those things where you give people an opportunity to just kind of grow. Now, here's another question for you. And hopefully everybody understands and you're listening. We're doing this for a reason. Shahi came on because he decided to. I didn't twist your arm and say, come on over and make it happen, right? Here's a question for you. How long was it that you was without a job?
think about 6 months.
About 6 months. That's a long period of time. That's a
Mhm.
long period of time. And there are some people out here that's been out here a little less than you, been out longer than you. And to think about this whole pandemic and how it's happened had an impact on people's lives. You look at the state of politics in the US, all these things have had an impact on a lot of people. So, how did you stay motivated?
Um, it was not always very easy, I'll be very honest. Um, but I had it in the back of my mind that I probably would not have anything positive happening in the year 2020.
Okay,
So
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the September, October, November, December, I fundamentally lowered my expectations
Mm,
because the elections were happening, the economy was down, the pandemic was in the second surge or something like that,
yeah,
and so I didn't expect to be on the job during
yeah,
2020.
yeah.
But as the year turned, elections took place, vaccines came out. I think
Mm-hmm,
that built everybody's confidence in the industry, in general
mm-hmm,
public. We all started feeling more motivated and more, committed to continuing what we were doing. Now, having said that, the six
yeah.
months, but I was also doing some on the side consulting work
Okay,
as a private contractor. I
yeah,
was working with a law firm actually to develop a case management system for them with a bunch of developers. So that was an exercise that I was
yeah,
doing a, in a Scrum environment as I was going through my unemployment days.
yeah.
So, but again, it was not easy, but everybody has to find their own
Yeah.
motivation, right? So my motivation was that I had a fulfilling career with Accenture for a very
Mm.
long time. Um, we parted ways because of the pandemic. We
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
parted ways because of
Yeah.
anything wrong that I did.
Yeah.
So it was understood that my skills, my capabilities were very valued over there. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic made it
Had an impact.
unbearable for
Yeah.
yeah. So having said that, I think I found um, positivity in prayer. I found positivity in people. I
Mm-hmm.
found positivity in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a mix of all those things, Devon, honestly,
Okay.
that kept me going.
That's good. I'm proud of you. I know you have sent other people. You've sent someone recently to come to the actual the hardship class that's coming. And I remember them sending me pictures of what happened to them, due to this thing in Texas that happened a few weeks ago in terms of the cold weather. And I think they're going to get a lot of value.
Yeah,
Man, I want
absolutely.
you to keep motivating people because we're just in that place where people just need just a little flicker of hope, right? Just a little
Yeah.
flicker of hope, right? And that's what I want you to keep doing. So I charge you to keep doing that, Shahid. And I appreciate you coming on, man. I really,
No,
really do.
thank you.
And
Thank
taking the
you.
time. So
Glad to
thank
be with
you.
you.
And if you need anything from me, you obviously have my email.
Yeah, I know where to find you, Devon.
You know where to find me. I can't run and hide from you. So I
Yeah, you
appreciate you
can.
and I appreciate the time, Shahid. And stay in touch. Let me know how it's going. Come back if you have any questions about anything. And I'll help you out. Okay?
Wonderful. Thank
My
you very
brother, I
much.
appreciate you. You have a good
All
one,
right.
okay?
You too. Bye.